Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was it. As we look at this Patriots team entering play, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Quick throw caught by Smith. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Haskins to throw on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He finds his man Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
The drive starts with a completion left side. The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And an alley to run. The 20, 10, 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline. Head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
A run there on first down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And he'll complete this one to Barrios. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
Go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Complete to Dorsett. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Philip Dorsett, 85 yards. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Now the point after try for Santos. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On play action, Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
So here are the Patriots to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the ground, Michelle. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Santos with the extra point. And it's now 21-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go, get excited. Let's go, let's go.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
44, Mike, 44. Oh, you got deep.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now it's Haskins. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Johnson running right. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 21 carries, 63 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
Johnson, it's poked free. Football's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-9. Nothing now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Haskins will throw, and that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Here we go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. His career already storied, just keeps getting better. That last carry, CD, he hit 14,000 career rushing yards.
Think about the accumulation of this yardage like you're going upstairs. Now he's at the doorstep of the top 5 all-time in NFL history in rushing yards.
Unbelievable. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
It's going to be a long day.
Ready?
Looking to throw. He'll buy some time right. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Ready. 60 yards.
Fellas, let's set a tone.
Big grip.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31, as his guys continue to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Johnson's got it complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now Haskins on first down. It's caught. Humphreys. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Can you hear me now?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
A little bit.
Here we go.
Is that better?
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Check.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up. Pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Some football and bringing the
and we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily.
On this off-season we got right now.
Long touchdown pass into the end zone.
To me, football is year-round. It should be. Football should be a year-round sport. What does football have to be played during the winter time. And there should be more games too.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run
There
up
should be
and send
way
this one
more
away.
games than what they have already. The 17 games.
We play to win.
There should be way more games.
Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little
Especially
bit
for the
more
money
involved here?
that they
Second
get
quarter, you're
paid.
down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree
17
with that, and
games ain't
oftentimes
nothing.
you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins.
Got him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes
I
down.
got him.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that,
There
this
should be
pass
at
rush.
least
They know how to
30
get
games
after
that
people.
they should
Offensively,
play.
good luck finding some answers right now.
Make the football season longer. Yeah, I'm not saying, oh yeah, like baseball. Real baseball
Protection certainly
goes
going to need to
all
be a
the
bit
way
better
from
here on 2nd
spring
and 16.
through the summer, fall.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Looking for his
I
tiny read, and
just
it's
picked it.
intercepted.
I
Picked
picked
up
it
by
for a
J.C.
pick six.
Jackson.
Pick
And he
six.
takes this one back into the end zone.
See,
And the
but
Patriot
it is
defense
like if
has
you-
a touchdown.
Just make it a little longer.
And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went
17
after that
weeks.
one and took it all the way.
All right, you got 4 weeks for preseason. Then you got 17 weeks for the season. Then you got the playoffs, which you got like 2 games. And then you got the Super Bowl. So you're playing like, there should be more games. Make it a little bit longer.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Baby, let's go.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously.
Good to see
right
you
back out
YouTube
there. It's
audit.
almost like hopping right back
Have
on the
a good
bike
one.
after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Safe
We'll
out
see if
there.
they can do it
And
here.
you always know
A pickup
from
of
the
about
police.
3 yards as he's taken down at the
Stay tuned for
31.
later on tonight.
What's the
I
old
might go
expression,
live
3
while
yards
I'm
in a
out.
cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Again.
Picked off near the 44. And they will set up shop at their own
Back-to-back
41-yard line.
interceptions. Well, not
This interception will
back-to-back.
go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot.
The
Square
other
your
one
body to
was
the
a
quarterback
pick
and be
six.
ready to make the catch.
control the ball.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter.
On the set.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Let go.
They'll run with Michelle. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you want.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. N'Keal Harry, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Defensively, they were ready. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads. To 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. 2nd down, Haskins. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Give me a second. Everybody. I got the hiccup. Someone tell the hiccups to go away. Please. Yeah. 420 every time, every day, all day, every mother day. Gotta stay high. You know.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get him.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. That's taken in by Callaway. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go play action with Haskins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And now out come the Patriots. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
60 Pittsburgh. 50.
It's our time. It's our time.
Shoot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Give me that ball.
2nd and 10. He's going to have the hook up to Izzo. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll set up a throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On second down, Michelle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Ready, ready. 10-2 stop.
Here I come. Here I come.
They'll run on first down. Michelle. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
60 or.
Go, Mike 50.
On second down, Michelle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles hoping to shake off a rough first month as a victory could get them back to 2-4. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Odell Beckham with 3 touchdown receptions. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Andrew Luck back and better than ever. 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This will be fielded at the 6.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Set 70, Indy. Ready, ready.
They start the second half with Michelle on the ground. And running with power here. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Down. Redskins down. Control the ball for 1 minute.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Michelle. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18.
I'm trying to
that
get
one good for 13 at a New England first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football.
When I can't get a first down,
well past 100 yards.
It almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase.
That's how it works.
And head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And then once I get 300 first downs, the faster I get those, I can annihilate
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Two times.
On the ground, this is Michel. Room to run again. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
No, guess what I'm doing? I'm getting first downs.
Two of their three red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
How about the game that he has compiled here? So he has the 2 receiving touchdowns, and now that is his 3rd rushing touchdown. 3 plus 2, 5 total.
I'm telling you, you and your math can't beat you on that one.
Yeah.
You got it down. But how about the diversity of the day he's had? Just what you pointed out. 3 on the ground, 2 catching them. What a performance.
What a performance. If I get my numbers and colors down, it's going to be a real threat.
Just always remember, color between the lines.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well.
Dude, who's the greatest NFL player of all time? Man, you got Jerry Rice. You got Bledsoe when he was good before Brady took over for him. You got the Mannings. You got like there's so many good quarterbacks out. But the greatest, I would have to say, all time would have to be Brady. And that's not to be honest. Goat milk stuff, but Brady is one of the best. Brady, he did phenomenal. Where I live in New England, and he played for New England, and he went down to Tampa Bay. I wished him luck down there. He didn't succeed down there like he did up here in New England. But Brady, it would be the greatest football player out there because he achieved so many records and awards and this and so yeah, I would have to say it would be Brady. Like if you want to go back to like old school running backs, you had Emmitt Smith for the Cowboys. Remember when the Cowboys went undefeated in the 90s when the Cowboys were undefeated and nobody could beat the Cowboys? And Emmitt Smith was one of the best excuse my language, one of the best, Emmitt Smith was a running back, I believe. I believe Emmitt Smith, if I remember correctly, he's a running back, but I could be wrong. He could be a halfback, fullback, or a wide receiver. but I believe he's a halfback, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. But back in the 90s, Emmitt Smith was one of the best runners in the league. Football and NASCAR are my two favorite sports. I also like golf.
And sometimes they throw in that big chunk
I was thinking
right
about
away.
getting a golfing game
Try and get
today.
after them early and try and create a big play
I might get
to
it
give themselves some
tomorrow.
momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I might get a golfing game.
The last run got a
Play some
couple.
golf.
Here's 2nd and 8.
Go, go, go.
Again, it's Johnson. And they're going to get him
Or
behind the line
hockey.
yet again as his
I
nightmare
don't know which
afternoon
one.
continues.
It's either going to
He lost
be
2 there. And
golf
it's
or
3rd
hockey
down.
I might get tomorrow.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward
We'll
and get what
see.
he can.
I'll go live
These
with
guys
y'all
have
on
punted
that.
4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks
All right,
like they're
man,
just
you have
totally
a
out of
good
sync,
night.
whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we
Yeah,
saw there.
thank
I
you
don't
for
know. The
coming
rhythm
in and
seems off.
chatting up a little bit. Hopefully I'll see you around
Here's
some more.
Tressway
Yeah,
now,
check me out
as
on
he's on for the
YouTube,
5th time
TikTok,
here today.
Facebook, Instagram. Well, Instagram is Facebook, so.
This is taken at the 18.
Yeah, Cape Cod Cop Watcher. Am I taking it all the way? Yeah, I took it all the way. Yeah, punt return for a touchdown.
Touchdown,
Yeah.
Patriots. Boy, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt
See, you
return.
gave me the
as
luck.
his guys continue to put this one out
You
of
gave
reach.
me that luck. You said good luck on your
Well, it certainly
game.
feels like that kind of game,
There's
doesn't
the
it?
luck.
No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now Haskins. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Tressway now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10.
I ended up catching it. Should have just ran it downstairs.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground is Michel. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. With that run, Charles, he passed Hall of Famer Curtis Martin for 5th all-time, over 14,100 yards rushing. I'm not sure what more he can accomplish.
Well, in his mind, he thinks he can continue on and get up to #1 on the all-time rushing list. But you're exactly right. What a career and what accomplishments. And to pass Curtis Martin, who is known by his Hall of Fame coach with the Jets and the Patriots as Wonder Boy, but that's a big-time deal. So if you're passing a guy that they called Wonder Boy, you're a heck of a player.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down now, Michel, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On 1st down, White, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Go. 60 outlaw.
Opting to run again here with White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White,
that's how
his
we
second
do around
touchdown
here
on
in
the
New
season
England.
as his guys continue to pour it on.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
Get ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Haskins now off the bootleg. He gets it to Humphreys. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Haskins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Off the bootleg. Haskins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I got him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They begin with Michelle on the ground. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Buying time to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Sony Michel, and it's 3rd down.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They'll drop the throw. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, and certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go to Johnson again. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the slant.
Off the draw. Here's Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Looking to throw. Hoffman being chased out left. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Ready up. Watch 57. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Now.
First down, here's White. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing.
She's on like the fifth tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Mad at me.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff. Unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And with this
right here, the punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. The outcome of this one,
Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles. The Rams, their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Michel. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Off the play fake. Hoffman sliding out of the pocket. Dorsett's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of
Dorsett's got it. Touchdown, Patriots. Philip Dorsett, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
His 1st career touchdown pass, and, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a New England touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Carson Wentz. A couple of touchdown passes thus far. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
On 1st down, it's Haskins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Haskins to throw it. He finds Humphries. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 43.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play in football.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. But it's going to be 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again, here's Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A give. This is Michel. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. A drive there of just 4 plays. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I got him. I got him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. And it's Michel once again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Hey, hold on. Now I'm going to lose one.
Able to push his way through. Fights free yet again. There he goes, right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins.
Yeah, I win.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New England, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.